He casually flipped the tray, instantly turning it into a briefcase, then kicked his crocodile leather shoes, transforming into a corporate worker. Using the signed document he tricked from the boss, he successfully infiltrated the company. As he passed the janitor's cart, he once again completed a suave disguise, then boldly rushed into the surveillance room, waved his hand, and took an ID photo of the young man. When the photo slowly printed out, the young man with a bewildered face was just about to step forward to question, but the man didn't give him a chance to speak and casually took his work badge. The other party immediately called for backup, but was then fitted with a wristband. At this moment, 2 security guards quickly arrived. The man immediately turned the tables, and seeing the conspicuous mental patient label on the wristband, nothing more needed to be said. Without a word, the guards escorted the young man out. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the man successfully hacked into the data system, replacing all his accomplices' information with expert identities, and was smoothly invited to tour the company's core area. One of them pretended to suddenly feel unwell, and while the guard was helping him to rest, the woman immediately removed her headpiece and let her shoulder slip. After receiving the headpiece, the companion immediately bent down and slipped under the equipment, using the headpiece to easily pry open the top cover. Then, they removed the parts, inserted the mechanical latch, and carefully extracted the added chip. Next, they took out a playing card to perfectly fit it, then quickly moved behind as if nothing had happened. But just when they thought they had executed a flawless plan, the 4 knights were unexpectedly subjected to a full-body search during their retreat. Although the playing cards were clearly in the man's hand, they remained in the guard's blind spot. Through a series of fluid movements, he suddenly tossed the card, which elegantly spun in the air, before landing precisely in the glasses-wearing man's palm. Then, it was immediately hidden in his sleeve, skillfully using muscle control to perfectly evade the guard's search. The card freely moved through his clothes, eventually sliding to the edge of his pant leg. At the moment it hit the ground, it precisely stuck to the woman's shoe sole. She pretended to lose her balance and fell into the guard's arms, taking the opportunity to retrieve the card with her fingertips. During the inspection, she cleverly hid it in her hair, and as she turned, quickly transferred it to the lining of her underwear. Faced with further searches by the guard, she simply unfastened, openly displayed, and finally threw it to the ground, taking the opportunity to tease the guard and casually stuck the card onto his backside, which was then intercepted by the hat-wearing companion. Next, a thin line was marked on the card, and the man with glasses gently pulled, bringing the card back under control. Unexpectedly, this action was noticed by the guard, and the man with glasses was forced to undergo a second inspection. However, the guard found nothing after searching him thoroughly. It turned out that the card's pattern perfectly blended with the suit's lining. Then the man with glasses quickly tossed the card back to the guy with the hat. Although they evaded the full-body search, they still had to face the metal detector at the entrance. Fortunately, the man had sprinkled gold powder in the wallet in advance. When the guard returned the wallet, the man with the hat suddenly flicked the card out, successfully avoiding everyone's sight, and it flew into the woman's fur coat. Through such clever coordination, the 4 successfully stole the chip and then made a deal with Harry as agreed, only to be betrayed by him. Just as the standoff occurred, the leader of the Knights suddenly appeared. While pretending to reprimand his subordinates, he secretly swapped the chip. Later, Harry discovered the deception and angrily imprisoned the leader in an iron box, locked the steel door, and sank it into the sea. At the critical moment, the leader used a steel pin hidden in his watch and ultimately escaped successfully. The reunited team decided to strike back. At this moment, Mr. Joe and the grandmother unexpectedly appeared, revealing their identities as members of the Tianyan organization. After meticulous planning, a magical feast in London unfolded. The man performed a miraculous trick, making the pouring rain suspend in midair. Then, he leaned back and lay on the ground, and the next second, only a raincoat was left in place. His real body already vanished. The companions simultaneously threw a flurry of cards as cover, collectively completing a disappearing act. But just as the 4 were about to move, Harry's men suddenly intercepted them. Not skilled in combat, they were quickly captured and taken onto Harry's private plane.